You've been lied to about HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. They weren't just schools, they were acts of resistance. They were born from the ashes of slavery in a world that wanted black minds to stay chained. And yet, they rose. They produced revolutionaries, doctors, teachers, presidents, engineers, and freedom fighters, from America to Africa. So today, on Africarized, we uncover the real story. The story the world doesn't tell, because it's too powerful. Part 1. Education as Rebellion. Imagine being born enslaved in 1850. It was illegal to read, illegal to write your name, illegal to dream beyond the plantation. Then just 15 years later, in 1865, schools for black students began to rise everywhere. These weren't just schools. They were freedom factories. As scholar Dr. 𝒂𝒊𝒂𝒂 Gassman puts it, every HBCU classroom was a direct blow against white supremacy. Teaching a black person to read was an act of revolution. From Wilberforce University, founded in 1856, the first black-owned university in the United States, to Howard, Morehouse, Spelman, Xavier, and Virginia Union, these institutions weren't born from privilege. They were built on faith, sweat, and defiance. Part 2. The Devil's Half Acre. From Hell to Hope. Let's start with one of the most haunting stories, Virginia Union University in Richmond, Virginia. Before it became a university, that same ground was called the Devil's Half Acre. It was the site of Lumpkin's Jail, one of the most notorious slave-trading compounds in the South. Enslaved men, women, and children were tortured there, sold there, and buried in unmarked graves nearby. But history turned. A formerly enslaved woman named Mary Lumpkin, forced to bear the children of a white slave trader, later used her freedom and property to start a school for freed slaves, transforming a place of death into a cradle of learning. That school became the foundation for Virginia Union University. Today, it stands as a beacon of resurrection, proof that black education literally grew from the soil of suffering. Where once stood chains, now stand classrooms. Part 3. The 150 Revolution. In 1904, a woman named Mary McLeod Bethune had only 150 in her pocket, but she had something far more valuable: vision. She gathered 5 girls and her son in Daytona Beach, Florida, and started a school for black children using burnt wood for pencils and elderberry juice for ink. That tiny school became Bethune-Cookman University, a living monument to what faith and courage can build with almost nothing. Bethune once said, "Faith is the first factor in a life devoted to service. Without it, nothing is possible. With it, nothing is impossible." Her message still speaks to every young African and African-descended person today. Don't wait for the perfect conditions to start. Start anyway, before we continue, family. If you believe in stories like this, you can support our mission by visiting Africarized shop. We've got Afrocentric apparel, cultural decor, and designs that celebrate our heritage with pride. Every purchase helps us fund Pan-African storytelling and independent research. And if you want to go even deeper, hit that join button. Become a member. Members get early video access, behind-the-scenes content, and your name featured at the end of our videos. Let's keep history in our hands. Part 4. The Rockefeller Connection. Spelman College. In 1881, 2 women, Sophia Packard and Harriet Giles, started a school in the basement of a church in Atlanta for 11 freed women. They had no money, no government support, just conviction. Then came John D. Rockefeller, yes, that Rockefeller, who visited the school, saw the determination of these women, and paid off all their debts. He named the school after his wife, Laura Spelman Rockefeller. And so Spelman College was born, one of the most prestigious institutions for women of color in the world. Today, Spelman produces scientists, activists, filmmakers, and global leaders. It's a reminder that even in the age of oppression, vision attracts resources. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Malcolm X. Part 5. The generals who built schools, not wars. Right after the Civil War, Union General Oliver Otis Howard, once a soldier, decided to fight a different kind of war, a war against ignorance. He used his power in the Freedmen's Bureau to found Howard University in 1867. It became a sanctuary for newly freed black minds, a place to heal from centuries of silence. But Howard wasn't alone. Another Civil War general, Samuel Chapman Armstrong, founded Hampton University in Virginia, where a young student named Booker T. Washington would rise to prominence and later found Tuskegee Institute, shaping black education for generations. These schools were built on a dream that African Americans could learn, lead, and uplift themselves despite everything the world threw against them. If you can control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about his actions. Carter G. Woodson, founder of Black History Month HBCUs, became the answer to that. They gave black people the power to think freely. Part 6. The only black Catholic university in the U.S. In 1925, a white Catholic nun from Philadelphia, St. Catherine Drexel, did something revolutionary. Born into wealth, she spent her fortune creating schools for Native Americans and African Americans. She founded Xavier University of Louisiana, the only black Catholic university in the United States. Her story reminds us that the fight for justice sometimes crosses color lines when the cause is righteous. Justice cannot be for one side alone, but must be for both. Eleanor Roosevelt. Part 7. The first HBCU ever. Cheyney University, founded in 1837. Cheyney University of Pennsylvania is the oldest HBCU in America. Its founder, a Quaker named Richard Humphreys, left his fortune to create an institute for free colored youth. He was inspired by a race riot in 1829 and decided to respond not with hate, but with hope. Cheyney became the first light in a long line of black institutions that taught carpentry, science, philosophy, and self-reliance. Part 8. The university that welcomed everyone. In 1869, Claflin University in South Carolina broke another barrier. It became the first HBCU to welcome all races and genders at a time when both white and black schools segregated by sex or color. Claflin's founders believed that true education must be universal. That was a radical idea in 1869, and it still is today. Our diversity is not our weakness. It is the source of our strength. Nelson Mandela. Part 9. From one classroom to global icons. In 1892, Winston-Salem State University began as a single-room school called Slater Industrial Academy. One teacher, 25 students, and endless dreams. Today, it has produced global names like sports analyst Stephen A. Smith and civil rights leaders who continue the fight for justice. It shows that greatness doesn't start grand, it starts grounded. Do not despise small beginnings, for from the seed grows the forest. African proverb. Part 10. The first black-owned university, Wilberforce. And then there's Wilberforce University, founded in 1856 by the African Methodist Episcopal Church. It wasn't just a school for black people. It was owned and run by black people. That was revolutionary. While white-run schools debated whether black students even had intellectual capacity, Wilberforce was producing scholars, orators, inventors, and political leaders. It symbolized black ownership in education, an idea that still challenges power structures today. The oppressor's most powerful weapon is the mind of the oppressed. Steve Biko Wilberforce helped us take that weapon back. Part 11. HBCUs and the Global African Story. Now, here's the truth that's often hidden. The story of HBCUs isn't just an American story. It's a Pan-African story. Graduates of these schools helped build nations in Africa. After independence in the 1950s and 60s, leaders from Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, and South Africa studied in HBCUs and returned home to build universities, ministries, and movements. From Ghana's Kwame Nkrumah to Tanzania's Julius Nyerere, their visions for self-reliance echoed the HBCU philosophy, that education is liberation. So when we talk about HBCUs, we are talking about the intellectual bridge between the African-American struggle and the African Renaissance. Until the lions have their own historians, the tale of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. African Proverb, Part 12, Howard versus Hampton, the friendly rivalry. And yes, we have to talk about the real HU, Howard University, founded by General Howard in Washington, D.C., Hampton University, founded by General Armstrong in Virginia. Their rivalry runs deep, from football to philosophy, but both share one mission: to uplift the black race through education, art, and excellence. Howard gave us Thurgood Marshall, Toni Morrison, Kamala Harris, Chadwick Boseman. Hampton gave us Booker T. Washington, Ruth Carter, and Wanda Sykes. Two schools, one purpose. Part 13, Why HBCUs Still Matter. Today, in 2024, there are over 100 HBCUs in the US, serving more than 300,000 students. But they produce 40% of black engineers, 50% of black lawyers, and 80% of black judges. They're not outdated, they're essential. And yet, many are underfunded, misrepresented, or dismissed. That's why we tell these stories. Because every time someone says HBCUs are less than, they erase centuries of brilliance. At Africarized, we tell stories the mainstream won't. Stories that connect Harlem to Harare, Kingston to Kigali. Together, we'll rewrite the narrative, one story at a time. Closing. The legacy lives on. So, were you lied to about HBCUs? Yes. You were told they were just schools for black Americans, but in truth, they were freedom movements disguised as universities. They turned enslaved minds into liberated leaders. They connected continents, and they built nations. From the Devil's Half Acre to global stages. The story of HBCUs is the story of black resilience itself. This is Africarized, where we rise through truth. I'm Kelvin Jassy. And remember, education is our revolution.